The Lakers are looking for some point guard help on the market, and according to an ESPN reporter, names like Colin Sexton and Tyus Jones have come up in recent discussions. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into everything of today's video, guys, I want to bring your attention to something. There is 93% of you guys who have recently watched our videos who are not subscribed to the channel just yet. If you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker coverage, trade rumors, reactions, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest to make it your home for all of it, guys. And we just hit 1,500 subscribers, guys, so appreciate the subscribers coming in, and we just hope that they keep coming in so we can keep this thing going. All right, let's hop straight into the topics of today's video, guys, as the Lakers are interested in point guard help. So according to ESPN's Dave McMinimum, the Lakers have been on the lookout for some point guard help, and names like Colin Sexton and Tyus Jones have come up on names to watch for them. So I'm pretty interested just on how this market is shaping here, as the Lakers have looked at those big names like Zach LaVine and DeJounte Murray, but these are a little bit not as big names because these guys aren't all stars, but they're close high level starters to like 6-man type players. So these are good but not great players, so they can do some things for you while at the same time not costing as much on the trade market. So I'm very interested to see what the Lakers are trying to get at here in these deals, and then I kind of have an idea of where they're kind of going with this. So I think a big thing they've kind of been saying throughout is Austin Reaves has been an untouchable player, and then once you have a guy like Austin Reaves being untouchable in trade rumors, it doesn't really open the doors to many big name trades. So that's why you see guys like this, like Tyus Jones and Colin Sexton, as some sort of like just lower level names, not all-star level type players, but like I said, very good 6-man starter type players. So when you're not willing to include Austin Reaves, so like this are the kind of players that you kind of are coming after, and the Lakers really have an idea of what they want to do here. So it's probably trying to add some guard depth help, because they really have not had it with Gabe Vincent being out this entire season. And then also when you have sometimes inconsistencies with D'Angelo Russell, and also a little bit with Austin Reaves, they also just looking for another guard to help shore up that roster and just make it a little bit easier for a guy like LeBron James when he is playmaking or not even on the floor, so they can have another guy out there playmaking there. So our next thing here is how can these guys help the Lakers? So both Colin Sexton and Tyus Jones. Actually, I think I'm going to start with Tyus Jones here, because Tyus Jones is a little bit more well-known. He was the guy backing up Ja Morant for all those years in Memphis and doing a very quite good job of it. He was one of the plus-minus leaders on that team, and then also being a guy for whenever Ja Morant was off the floor, the Memphis Grizzlies never really wavered whatsoever. So if we take a look at Tyus Jones' stats here, and Tyus Jones, yeah, he's this season he's averaging about 12 points per game, about 5.8 assists, about 6 assists, shooting about 50% from the field, 41 from 3, about 73 from the free throw line. So these are pretty solid numbers for a guy who has been the starting point guard over there in Washington. Albeit it's they're not doing too hot, they're not really winning games, but he's been a serviceable guard on a playoff rotation, and then he's also been a guy that's been able to historically shoot, and then he also has a very low turnover to assist ratio, because that is a big reason why Memphis really loved him, because he would come off the bench for them, and then he would provide a very good point guard help, and then also not turn over the basketball. So when you can have that in a guard who's just, you know what you're going to get from him. He's not a guy who's not going to do too much on the offensive end. He's going to take the right shots. He's a very high basketball IQ player, so he's going to really make the right reads, make a lot of very good decisions. So he's a very he's not a guy that he's like a high level guard impact as like he'll dunk on you, or have a crazy crossover dribble move and just do something crazy off the bounce, but he's more of a guy that is just a point guard. Just, you can take care of your team. He can run an offense. He can hit open shots. He can find guys when they're open, and he won't make mistakes. And that is a very big thing that you want out of a point guard, especially out of your backup when you're backing up guys like LeBron James and then Anthony Davis, and then even now with the way that LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then now with the way Reaves and D'Lo have been playing. So like, it would make sense for the Lakers to have just another guard to shore things up, because especially when you're still unsure about Gabe Vincent, who still has a couple more weeks to go on his evaluation date, and we don't even know if he's going to be back playing healthy to the level that he can be this season. So it makes sense for the Lakers to kind of look towards somebody else like a Tyus Jones, where he can be a very, like I said, a very good serviceable backup point guard. He's not going to do too many crazy things, but he's just going to be very solid. Now, the other name here, Colin Sexton, who I'm a little bit more interested in, and he's a guy who's been averaging about 17 points per game this season, about 2.6 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting about 49%, 38% from 3, which is pretty high for him, and then 88% free throw percentage. So this guy, Colin Sexton, he's been around the league a couple of years now, and from his time, I believe, with the Cavs and then now with the Jazz. So the Cavs, he was almost an all-star. So this guy, he was almost an all-star in that season. I believe he got injured before the votings and all the things had really happened, so he didn't really get a nice hand there. But Colin Sexton has been a guy who has been looked at to be possibly like a high-level lead guard, to be more of just like a combo guard, just to kind of help you out and do a lot of things for you. So Colin Sexton, I think he's more intriguing because he's a guy who's a little bit more dynamic. He's got a little bit athleticism to him, and then he also has that very high competitive spirit. People have probably seen those pictures back in the day of Colin Sexton really just doing that mean mug face and really getting into defenders, and he's a guy that really gets after it on the defensive end, albeit he's not like the best defender, but he's the guy who's going to go out there and compete. And then on the offensive end, he's a very good rim seeker, which is something the Lakers have really missed, not having a Dennis Schroeder here for another guy who can really get to the basket besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So if you add a Colin Sexton, this gives the Lakers another option to come in off the bench and then really make some noise and really can change the efforts of a game just off of his energy. So like, he's a guy who's been very plays off of energy, plays off a very high motor, and that's really been a product of what's going on in Utah, as the Utah Jazz have been playing really good basketball recently, and Colin Sexton being in the starting lineup is part of the reason why the Jazz have been playing really well. And his high motor and then his high intensity really can impact the team. And then I also do remember Colin Sexton way back in his college days, when half the team got almost kicked out and they were playing 5-on-3, and then they almost won that. Actually, yeah, they almost won that game. Colin Sexton was on the team of 3, and then he was really going after it, really playing hard. And even though they were undermanned and outmatched, he was still playing at the height of his powers just because of his high motor and high energy. So something like that the Lakers could definitely use, and especially his ability to drive into the paint and then also kick out to open shooters can be another value added piece, because when you have another guy that can do that, it can just open your offense even more, especially when the Lakers offense has been struggling most of this season. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Just let me know what you guys think about these trades in or these possible trades in the comments. Does Tyus Jones make a little bit more sense as a guy or does Colin Sexton, a high motor, high energy dude, or Tyus Jones, a very serviceable point guard and a guy who's not going to make too many mistakes? Very different types of point guards, but then they also bring good impacts to your team. So just let me know what you guys think about in the comments, like who's a better option, or if there's another option the Lakers should go after. But I've been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.